preparing to live stream the meeting right now.
There's David.
Howdy.
Hi.
Okay. Looks like I'm in, so I'm going to turn this off, and hopefully it'll still keep on going in the background, right? Even though oh, technology. Hi, David.
Howdy. How y'all doing tonight?
All right, we're kind of high anxiety, I think.
If you guys aren't speaking, just mute your microphones, and that'll hopefully help with some of that background noise.
So we've got Walter's phone, David and Nancy, and of course Sarah, and somebody's iPad is being admitted. And Caroline Noya is about to be admitted. I'm not sure who the iPad is. If you don't mind either turning your video on or just turning off your microphone and saying who you are, that'd be great.
If you're on the meeting on your iPad right now and you're not Walter or Caroline, we don't know who you are. So if you don't mind unmuting,
All
there
right.
you go.
Can you hear me now? This is Mike.
Hey, Mike. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm going to change your name. I'm going to rename you so it says Mike instead of iPad. Thank you for being here.
Okay. And I think we have a quorum now. Is that correct, Jill?
That should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Yeah, there's 9 of you.
thought-
7 up.
Jill, I saw David Harrington a minute ago. You haven't mentioned his name.
He's there.
Yep, he's here.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yes, we have Sarah, Nancy, David, April, Caroline, Walter, and Mike. So that's 7 out of 9. So you're doing well.
Perfect. So I'm going to officially call this meeting to order today, Madam Secretary, if you've got the time. Perfect.
Yes.
Just a reminder, when we're not speaking, y'all, if we will mute our microphones, it really helps with the background noise. And so that'll make the view experience a little bit smoother. So thank you all for being here tonight. Our first order of business is going to be to discuss what is going on next month, which is a national celebration of Preservation Month. As a former Main Street manager for many years, it was something that we did often was try to celebrate and really pay homage to our history. And so I know everyone is over capacity this year, and we've got a lot of other great events going on in May. And so since this is the first time we consider honoring Preservation Month specifically in Smithville, I thought we'd start with the proclamation. And so we have a draft for you guys to review and then if we so desire, we would forward that on to City Council for consideration at their May meeting. And hopefully with the goal of next year, ramping up and doing something, a little bit more elaborate than just this official proclamation, which is still a big deal. So I'm not going to read it verbatim, but I'm going to let you guys take a look at it. And first, I guess the question is, do we want to celebrate Preservation Month in this manner? And then the second one would be, do we need to make any changes to this before we send it to City Council? If the answer to question A was yes.
Well, I reviewed this earlier and it looks good to me. I saw that Jill had made a few administrative changes before the meeting, and this looks, as far as I can see, this looks great.
Perfect. Thank you, April. And we will need a motion once everybody has a chance to go through it. And we did mention in there, and I want to just mention it again, that on May 15th, the chamber is having a little celebration. It's always good to have a plug wherever you can. April, do you want to just tell us about that really quickly?
Sure, I'd be happy to. We'll be having our annual awards banquet, and it will also include a celebration of our new Railroad Museum, Visitor Center, and Chamber Office. That is going, speaking of historical preservation, that structure is being built in the original location of the railroad depot that was in that location before it was lost to a fire in 1967. So we're very excited to be building something that is an homage, or something that gives some respect to the history of that location down there in the park. So that's on the 15th of May. There'll be a sneak peek of the new building, which is just beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. Does anybody else have any thoughts or comments on the proclamation specifically, or do we have a motion to go ahead and make a recommendation to send this on to council for consideration? Unmute. Nancy.
I'll make that motion.
I'll be glad to second it.
Okay, I have a motion by Ms. Nancy and a second by April. All those in favor of forwarding the proclamation to celebrate National Preservation Month to City Council for consideration, say aye or wave.
Aye.
Okay, so Walter and Mike, we need to hear ayes, or. So you guys are both on mute, Walter and Mike. If you guys will unmute or turn your cameras on and wave, your choice.
Is my camera off?
Yeah.
How do I turn oh man, how do I turn my camera on?
On the bottom corner, there should be a little thing that says video. Stop, just click on that and it'll make your video turn on.
It's a little bit-
Looks like a little video camera.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
unless, well, you're on a phone. I'm not sure. Since you're on your phone, I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
Do we have a yay vote from you, Walter, on the proclamation?
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Mike, do you want to vote, or are you abstaining?
Mute.
There you are, Walter. I can see you.
Okay, so we can just count 6 yay votes and consider Mike abstaining, I guess, for now. Or I didn't vote for 5, but yeah.
All right, finally unmuted. I vote too.
Okay.
Yeah, Mike unmuted. Okay. Very good. Thank you guys for being patient with us. All right. Thank you so much. Motion passes. Number 3 is just discussion and action regarding our meeting minutes from our last meeting, which was on November 18th of 2020. As a reminder, the general public, this committee only meets quarterly or as needed. So it's not that we haven't been wanting to get together. It's just how it is. Anybody have any questions or changes to the minutes? Thank you so much for getting these together for us, Miss April.
Excuse me, Madam Chairman, under the new board positions, I thought it was Caroline Noya that nominated you as chair, and I seconded, but I could be mistaken.
Well, one of y'all is in trouble. So, I mean, I don't know who wants to take responsibility for that. I slept in, so I do not remember.
Caroline?
Was it Carol?
I don't remember either.
I thought it was you, because we both kind of started the motion, and then I think you finished it. And that's why then I nominated the vice chair.
And thankfully, we can go back and check the video recording if we.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
minor
I did. I think I did nominate I think, no. I don't,
It's a
remember.
I just,
Yeah,
We will double check that meeting recording and make an adjustment if needed.
okay.
it's not a big deal.
Well, we have to be accurate, so it is a big deal.
That's true.
I know who's in trouble, so I want to find out. So thank you. Any other comments or corrections on these? I have an H on the end of my name, just FYI. But it's again not relevant. Okay.
It is.
With
Do you usually have an H on the end of your name?
I do.
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. If anybody has nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes from our November 18th, 2020 meeting.
I'll move that we approve the minutes from the November 2020 meeting.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I second.
A motion by April and a second.
Nancy.
All
April and Nancy.
April and Nancy, yep. All those in favor of passing the minutes from November, please say
As
aye.
corrected, as corrected.
Okay, very good. Walter, you can just wave since we can see you now.
All right. It's Mike. I say aye.
Okay.
And Walter wave. Thank you guys very much. If you guys remember at our November meeting, we had a series of discussions on updating our COA application as well as the historic marker application, which was actually a carryover from before COVID. And to me, that all starts with our policy. We can't really make changes to the COA until we have clear direction from council and understand if there's any resolutions or codification that has been passed. And so Jill's pulled up a copy of our current, I guess, policy document. Since this was created and established, we have had new leadership that has come in behind the dais. We, have adopted design guidelines. And so we're a little bit more, I guess, mature as a board than we were. And so I think based on my understanding that there will be some discussions later this summer at the city council level, not just about us, but just in general about the city operations. And so I think there may be an opportunity for us at that time to get some additional guidance as to, are there any other expectations of this board and what our role is or isn't. And so this is kind of just an update to that. Currently all of our COAs and all that are recommendations based on our design guidelines, but there are a lot of different things that we can do to make sure that we are preserving Smithville's unique heritage and history in the built environment. And so there's, certified local government programs, which has a lot of grant funding available at the state level. And so there's just a lot of different things that we can do. And so now that we've kind of slowly grown up, we can't do any of them without council's direction. And so we need to kind of, I guess, check their pulse, so to speak. And so that's going to happen this summer from what I understand. And Jill, correct me if I'm wrong. And so this is really just an update to let you guys know that. And you, of course, will all be encouraged or mandated necessarily to be part of the discussions. But that's kind of my update there. I'm happy to answer any questions. So we haven't done our homework on this because we can't really update policy and then modify it without council's input.
Right.
And if you guys have anything that you would like to see us do or be involved with, or partner with different organizations in town, think about that over the next 30 to 60 days. And once we have more details on what that format looks like and what the opportunity for engagement will be, we'll be back in touch with everybody. Yep. We don't need any action. And not to beat the dead horse, but number 5 is the COA review. And we did meet this committee. Thank you guys. It was during, I think, a trying time. Nobody was at full capacity to update our COA to provide some more clarity and structure for applicants as well as for us as to how we make decisions and to make sure that everything is, I guess, formalized, institutionalized properly. And I struggle when I don't have policy to fall back on. And so there isn't codification, which is, for those that don't know city speak, which is the ordinance that would, enforce or give us any type of, advisory authority or regulatory authority concerning the built environment of the buildings in the historic business district. And so we have some examples, some things we'd like to see, but until the policy is updated, I would like to recommend that we hold off, because I think that it needs to all be done based off of what council, which is really the voice of the citizens, since that's who elects them, wants us to do. And we can talk about that if you guys would like to see us move forward and then make changes later. If council has different input, we can do that as well. But that was just my recommendation for now.
I agree.
I
Okay.
do. I do
We
too.
do we need to like vote to table this or something, or just move, is this informational?
No, these are all three just updates. We just wanted to do them separately. So there's a third one. I apologize that, the horse is getting beat up. The third one is the Historic City Marker Program. And so again, we want to wait for council's input on that. So right now they can apply for a marker, but it doesn't actually provide anything but the building marker. And so there are cities and programs, preservation related, where the building marker provides it some type of local actual designation as a historic property. And so our ordinance, we don't have one that specifically addresses that or creates that. And so it's really just a marker that goes on the outside of the building. And so there's no policy concerning whether, how those records are kept or what that marker means as far as regulation or changes to the building. And so it was difficult for me to look at updating the marker application without the backup policy to support it. And so that's why we're going to have hopefully some good conversations with council this summer. Now, that doesn't mean you can't come and apply for a marker. If we have anybody watching tonight and they're super excited about getting their building a historic marker, you can still apply. We'll be happy to process that paperwork. And hopefully by next May's Preservation Month, the goal will be all this will be done and beautiful, and we can do a big push and a surge to get a lot of our buildings with the historical marker and or designation, whatever that program ends up looking like. Okay.
Okay.
That's about as far as the agenda goes. We wanted to meet to get Preservation Month taken care of, but we originally thought we'd have some policies for us to go over, but we really think it's important to wait and to get that guidance from our elected officials before we move forward. So if I don't have any other questions, comments, thoughts, our next meeting, Jill, will probably involve the discussion with council at some point this summer, but our next regularly scheduled meeting, this is April, would be what, July?
Correct. Yeah, it would be July.
Would be July, same time, same place, except we'll be in the council chambers.
That's the plan. So it should be the third Wednesday in July. Now that, as long as nobody comes forward with a certificate of obligation, certificate of appropriateness or anything like that, and I will let you know if anything like that comes forward. Otherwise, the next schedule would be 3 months from now in July.
July 21st.
Perfect. And since this is a city board, I do want to remind everyone that early voting started on Monday. And election day is May 1st. There is no more important election than your local government election. So the things that those people do affect us much more so than anything that happens in Austin or in Washington, D.C. So I encourage you to go vote if you've not done so already. And with that, I would entertain a motion for adjournment. April.
Oh, did April do it?
Sorry, either way, it doesn't matter.
I can read her lips. I saw that's what she was doing, even though she was on mute. April motioned and Nancy seconded. All those in favor for adjournment?
Yeah,
Aye.
And Mike said aye.
and Mike, okay.
Okay, without further ado, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you all so much and hope
That was a quick meeting.
quick meeting, but important stuff happening. So
Yep, absolutely.
appreciate you all very much.